with the kind permission of Honorable Chairperson Dr. Rajaram Patil and external referee Honorable Dr. Gaikwad sir, I take an opportunity to welcome you all. It is with immense pleasure and great honor that I extend a warm welcome to you all for the PhD VIVA examination of my research scholar ASTHA KAPUR in the subject Geography under the Faculty of Interdisciplinary Studies, University of Mumbai. We are privileged to have among us distinguished academicians and eminent geographers whose presence enriches this scholarly occasion. I extend my heartfelt greetings to our Honorable Principal Dr. Narendra Tendulkar sir, who is one of the leading academicians in the Konkan region. As well as I take an opportunity to welcome well-known geographers Dr. D.G. Gathade sir, Dr. Savit Smita Chavan ma'am, Dr. Anita Autim ma'am, Dr. Bimrao Sonule sir, all other faculty members from the Department of Geography, Dr. Jyotiram Mori is there, and all other faculty members from other disciplines also. This Viva Voce will be chaired by the highly respected Board of Studies Chairman Dr. Rajaram Patil sir. Dr. Rajaram Patil sir, I welcome to you on this virtual platform for this online Viva Voce examination. And I'm very honored to share with you that Honorable Principal Dr. Sunil Gaikwad from SP College, Pune, as the external referee, keen insights and rigorous evaluation will undoubtedly add depth to the academic discourse. Astha Kapoor will present her doctoral research on appraisal of the water scenario in geographical perspective, a case study of Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra. Her research delves into the critical issue of water resource management from geographical lenses, a subject paramount importance in today's world. Following her presentation, we anticipate an engaging discussion that will provide valuable academic insights to the research. I sincerely appreciate your presence and participation, which will undoubtedly contribute to the success of this event. Your scholarly inputs and discussions will not only support the candidate's academic growth, but also enhance our collective knowledge in the domain of the field of geography and water resource management. With this brief welcome note, once again I welcome you all, Honorable Principal Dr. Tendulkar sir, all the well-known geographers, today's chairperson, and today's external referee, faculty members from our college, and I hand over the next uh, charge to the chairperson, Dr. Rajaram Patil.
Okay, sir. Very good afternoon to all. On the behalf of University of Mumbai, we have conducted your online open defense revival. External referee, Dr. Sunil Kaiser from Pune University, research supervisor, Dr. Sardar Patil, and participants. I invite Astha Kapoor to present research work on appraisal of the water scenario in geographical perspective, a case study of Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra. Now, over to you, Astha Kapoor. You have 40 minutes for your presentation. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Can I begin the sharing of my screen? Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. At the outset, I, Astha Samarth Kapoor, take this opportunity to welcome on board the chairperson, my external examiner, my research guide, and all the members of this august gathering, I hereby wish one and all a very pleasant evening, and I sincerely extend my gratitude to all for sparing time and joining in this meeting. Today, I stand before you all to present my research work. The journey of my doctoral research began with the topic Appraisal of the Water Scenario in a Geographical Perspective, a case study of Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra. Now, the introduction. My research topic entirely focuses and revolves around the water resource, which is particularly significant in today's perspective, in today's scenario, because 3/4 of our planet is covered with water. But all this water is not readily usable. Thus, the importance of fresh water becomes all the more important because of its irreplaceable nature and because of the fact that it is readily usable by all of mankind, all of flora and fauna. So, fresh water availability becomes paramount in today's scenario. It is also referred to as liquid gold by several research scholars because of its indispensable nature. The need of the hour today is to prevent its over-exploitation, its wasteful usage, because this resource can become precariously scarce if we don't pay attention to judicious consumption, to its conservation and management. Now, this is my study area. My study area is located within the Indian state of Maharashtra in Thane district, and it lies completely within the Ulhas basin. Um, this is a swiftly growing municipal corporation, that is Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, formed in 1983. Ulhas and Kalu rivers border it in the north. Its areal extent is 104.57 square kilometers. Latitude and longitudinal extent is 19 degree 4 minutes north to 19 degree 14 minutes north, and 72 degrees 9 minutes east to 73 degree 17 minutes east. Now, this area, Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, also serves as the second cultural capital of Maharashtra after Pune, considering that it has a high literacy rate. Now, in all, there are 10 wards in my in the KDMC area, but only 7 wards and 5 zones have been considered for this research. These wards and zones have been delineated by KDMC itself for administrative convenience. Now, this is the map. The first map is showing A, B, C, D, F, G, H wards of my study area, and the second map shows the zones, that is Titwala, Kalyan West, Kalyan East, Dombivli West and Dombivli East zones. Now, the selection justification of my study area. I took up this area because as my study area, because this area was declared as the smart city in the third list of smart city that was declared by Government of India in September 2016. After it was understood that it has been making good progress in Amrut mission and JNNURM mission. So water infrastructure and water development has taken place on a large scale. That is why I wanted to take up this area as my study area. Also, I have read several newspaper articles, excerpts which say that this area is has a good rainfall regime. It has abundant water, but the only problem arises during non-monsoon months because there is high water demand but intermittent supply, irregular supply. Also, there is sometimes shortage of water. So I wanted to suggest water footprint reduction measures which can be adopted by the decision makers, policy makers. Now, literature review. The literature review, almost 150 review of literature has been conducted by me. A lot of literature, research articles, magazines, newspapers, journal articles, thesis, etc. has been referred to me, but only 70 I have included in my research. Out of these, 7 pertain to the geographical profile of the area, 9 to the LULC classification, 11 to the availability and demand and supply of water, 8 literature reviews, they explore the urban water woes experienced by the metroites, the people dwelling in the metro cities. 12 literature reviews that revolve around the analysis of water quality, mapping, etc. 10 have considered the water-related health issues and concerns, and 13 pertain to conservation techniques and management strategies. After going through all the literature, I have understood there are certain gaps within the literature, and for this reason, I wanted to take up this study. The first gap is there is water scarcity issue within KDMC, and especially in terms of demand and supply of water to the residents. So this needs to be addressed. As of now, it has not been looked into. Secondly, the aspect of water footprint calculation, which is new, and that is why I wanted to include this in my thesis, in my research work. So, thirdly, the spatial water quality testing and mapping, which uses the isopleth technique. This has also not been explored as of now, so I wanted to include this in my research. There are 5 research objectives in all. The first one is to study the historical background, geography, demography, growth trends, etc. of my study area, to identify the sources of fresh water and to study the operational mechanism of the fresh water supply to the households in KDMC, to examine the scenario of water supply in terms of water surplus and deficit wards. Fourthly, to study the water-related health problems in the study area. And last is to suggest possible measures for mitigating the water-related problems and the challenges faced by the people. The research hypothesis, there are 2 null hypotheses that have been formed in this research. The first one is there is no correlation between the number of family members living together in one house and the water bill paid by them. And the second hypothesis is that there is no spatial variation between sufficiency, regularity, and quantity of water supplied to the households in the study area. This is basically questionnaire-based hypothesis that I have prepared. Now, research methodology. Every good research needs to comprise of 2 important data sets. One is the primary data sets and the other is the secondary data set. So I have included both the data sets in my research. The primary data set comprises of questionnaire, survey, group interview, lab tests. I have not conducted the laboratory tests, but yes, I have collected water samples from the study area, 32 sites, and given them to a BMC lab, and there the testing has taken place. Also, photographs and observation technique has been used. Within the secondary data, I have used satellite images, government websites. I have referred to government websites, reports, DPR, CDP, other relevant documents and research reports. And for the processing, that is data analysis, I have used statistical techniques, cartographic techniques, as well as computer techniques, wherein I have prepared diagrams, maps, tables, graphs, etc. Now, this is the chapterization scheme. From 1 to chapter 9, I have prepared all the chapters, which I will be discussing in this presentation. So it is not possible to give and discuss all the research work, so I will be only presenting a few glimpses from my thesis in this particular presentation. So the second chapter is geographical profile of the area. This is the contents that have been, this is the contents that I have included in the research in this chapter. The methodology pertains to rainfall data, which has been downloaded from CHRS portal for 1991 to 2021. The EM data has been downloaded from Bhuvan portal. Minimum, maximum, sum, mean of rainfall has been calculated using zonal statistics technique. IDW technique has been used for generating rainfall maps for good spatial visualization using the decadal average. This particular technique, and digitization of watershed has also been done for especially the Ulhas Basin in Google Earth Pro software. Then the course of Ulhas River and its tributary Kalu River has been traced within the Google Earth software. Physiography, elevation contour profile, and all these maps have been generated in the Global Mapper 13 software. 2011 census data has been used for generating population maps. Over here, to the extreme left-hand side, we can see the KDMC head office. The above maps show the north-south, east-west profile of Ulhas Basin, and the below maps show the north-south, east-west profile of KDMC. This slide shows the geomorphology map, geology map, and slope map, which are adapted from Doke et al. Other researchers. And this is the DEM map which has been generated by me. And it is understood that the area of KDMC, it lies in low elevation area within the Ulhas Basin. Over here we can see that the soil texture map and the rainfall map have also been adapted from Doke et al. And there are two basic types of soils over here, clay soil and loamy soil within the Ulhas basin. And rainfall, maximum rainfall, it goes above 2500 mm. The drainage network over here, this last map, we can see that the drainage network is basically dendritic pattern. And there are several water storage or water reservoirs which are constructed within the Ulhas basin. This is the map which shows the storage reservoirs in the Ulhas basin. Over here we can see the contour map and physiography map. Physiography, basically it is understood that KDMC generally has a flat terrain, but some spots within KDMC show higher elevation, around 39 degrees of elevation. Now over here, average rainfall for the decade between 2012 and 21. This shows that the average rainfall ranges between 22,352 mm to 2,498.6 mm. The population density map has also been prepared using census data, and over here it is understood that the Dombivli region, that is the Dombivli city, F and G wards, they show highest density, and it is followed by H ward. The lowest density is shown by A ward, that is the Titwala zone. Over here we can see the occupational structure. This has been collected by from secondary data. These graphs have been prepared on the basis of secondary data, and it is understood that maximum population in the age group below 20 years is student population. In the age group of 20 to 60 years, it is mostly people working in full-time jobs. Ladies are generally homemakers. In the age group 60 and above, they are mostly retired population, homemakers, and some people are also involved in miscellaneous activities. Now the religious composition, maximum people of KDMC are Hindus. They follow Hinduism, and the least number of people follow Sikhism. So it is a basically Hindu-dominated region. Over here we can see that the third chapter is water supply mechanism and land use land cover analysis. These are the contents that have been covered within my chapter. Methodology used here is that after layer stacking of all the bands, I clipped my study area and converted into FCC. The Landsat images were that I used were 5 TM for 2002, 7 ETM plus for 2013, and 8 OLI TIRS for 2022. All the images are of the February month. They have a 30-meter resolution, path and row of 148 and 47 respectively. I used the hybrid unsupervised LULC classification technique using recoding and cleaning. The entire area was divided into 11 classes, and the graphs have been prepared area-wise showing LULC. The shapefile, I projected it into PCS, projected coordinate system, and throughout ArcMap software has been used to generate all the maps of my thesis. The projection that has been used for all the maps is UTM Zone 43 North, WGS 84. And the fresh water sources have been digitized in ERDAS. AutoCAD data was provided by KDMC office. This was basically the density of pipeline data. This was the pipeline data density I calculated. And the density of water supply pipelines was determined within ArcMap software only. Overlay analysis technique was used for LULC maps. These are the LULC maps for the 3 years. I will not go into too much of detail, but just for a brief explanation, I want to say that built-up area has significantly, drastically improved from 2002 to the year 2022. And cropland area, which is yellow and orange, has significantly reduced. Okay. Now in this graph, I want to tell you that barren lands have decreased in KDMC. Built up area definitely has increased by 25%. Croplands have also decreased. Fallow lands, cropland, that means cultivable land has come down. Then marshy area to some extent has gone up because of maybe fishery industry, which has taken up in a big way in KDMC. Then vacant lands have been converted into playgrounds. then rail infrastructure and road infrastructure has also risen. Vegetation has also risen after 2013. Water bodies have come down. Now over here, freshwater sources, over here we can see this map shows the freshwater sources. And over here we can see the rainfall map from 1991 to 2001 and 2012 to 2021. These two decadal average rainfall maps have been considered over here. There is a slight change in rainfall definitely, which I will be discussing in findings. Now over here we can see the water treatment plant, this one, and this is the water tanks which have been taken from Google Earth Pro software. Over here, the LULC has been overlaid with water density, water supply pipeline density. This network has been overlaid over the LULC. On the 5 zones of KDMC, we can see that Dombivli West and East have high pipelines. Number of pipelines are more over here in the central portion. Also in the central portion of Kalyan West, there are more pipelines. But in Kalyan East, the number of pipelines is less, and over here also in Titwala zone, thus it is very scarce and scattered. These maps show the same thing that I have already discussed in the previous slide, but it is individually shown in each map. Now this is the density, pipeline density that has been calculated within the ArcMap software. We can see that more density of pipeline can be seen in Dombivli East and West zones in the central portion. Same for Kalyan West, also central portion, and Titwala zone is having a very low pipeline density. Fourth chapter relates to analysis of spatial variation in water quality and associated water and waterborne health concerns. These are the table of contents, and over here we can see the table number 4.1, which is important because all these parameters have been considered for my water sample testing. So physical appearance, odor, turbidity, pH, chlorides, nitrates, total hardness, alkalinity, dissolved solids, iron and fluoride. Okay, the methodology I have used is water quality test reports generated by Konkan Bhavan. These test reports, water quality reports, were generated by Konkan Bhavan and supplied to KDMC. So I collected these reports from KDMC for the month of February, May, August and November 2023. Prepared the bar graphs for all these parameters that I have discussed in the previous slide. There were 32 sites that I visited in personally and collected the water samples. I took down the coordinates also. 9 sites were in Dombivli, 15 in Kalyan, 8 in Titwala in the month of February, which is a non-monsoonal month. The samples were then sent to BMC lab, and over there chemical and bacteriological testing was performed on all these parameters, that is appearance, odor, turbidity, pH, nitrate, chloride, hardness, alkalinity, TDS, coliform and E. coli bacteria. Coliform and E. coli bacteria come under bacteriological testing. Visualization for each parameter has been done separately using IDW technique. Then waterborne diseases data has also been collected, especially for June and October. Sorry, June till October, because these are the monsoon months and mostly waterborne diseases occur during these months. For the months between 2021 to 2024. Waterborne diseases and vector-borne diseases, these two data I have collected. Over here we can see Baraway water treatment plant and Titwala water treatment plant. Over here, this is basically secondary data only, and we can see that maximum is the pH value, which is within the limit, although, but still it is on a higher line, it is borderline, it is on a higher line because 8.5 is the maximum limit. Same is the case with treatment plant, Titwala water treatment plant. Over here we can see that in the month of August, the pH value has gone much above the permissible limits. It is only permitted between 1 to 5, and over here we can see that turbidity has gone to 27.9, which is highly turbid. Okay, now these are the these are the maps which have been made after primary survey, primary data collection of water samples. 32 sites have been visited by me over here. This map shows those 32 sites. Over here we can see that this map, below map over here, shows the physical appearance of potable water. Physical appearance generally is good, but there are 2 places where raw water samples have been collected, particularly from Ulhas River and Kalu River. These raw water samples are turbid. Over here, we can see the TDS map over here, the extreme end of Titwala zone. We can see that TDS is higher over here, and in almost all the maps we can see that this particular area, that is the extreme end of KDMC in Titwala zone, mostly all maps are showing higher concentration as compared to the other areas. This is the level of turbidity in potable water. Again, this portion is basically the raw water sample, that is the Ulhas river sample. Over here we can see that hardness is higher in Titwala. Then again, although all these are within the permissible limit, but they are on a higher side within Titwala. Over here we can see the chloride map, spatial distribution of chlorides. We can see that it is more in Titwala and B ward of Kalyan. Same pH, the distribution of pH, we can see it is more in Titwala. Again, alkalinity also same. Then these two maps are of the E. coli distribution and coliform distribution within KDMC. Only two, that is the raw water samples, they show the red flags, which is the Ulhas river water and Kalu river water. They show presence of coliform and E. coli bacteria. In the remaining sites, there is nil presence of these two bacteria. As far as the waterborne diseases is concerned, I would not going to detail of all these graphs, but I would generally, as a matter of fact, want to say that there are very few number of registered cases of waterborne diseases in KDMC. Generally, the water provided to them is of good quality, it is fit for drinking. But certain places in Titwala, they do report certain water quality samples where the quality is little bit compromised. So there are waterborne diseases occurring due to that to little extent. Then I have also considered vector-borne diseases, for which I have taken dengue cases and malaria cases for 2021 till 2023, and it is understood that in vector-borne diseases, the cases are not too many, but some deaths have been reported, whereas in waterborne diseases, no deaths have been reported. It is the malaria cases which show the maximum in 2023. Now, the fifth chapter is demographic characteristics of the surveyed residents. For this, I have used the methodology of questionnaire survey, primary data, and the questions were prepared both on digital platform as well as a manual collection of data. Questions were prepared both in English and Marathi languages. 1,896 responses were obtained using the technique of purposive stratified random sampling. And age, gender, educational qualification, occupation, household types, this data was collected for this particular chapter. There were more questions, but they will come in the successive chapters. Okay, then tabulation of data was done, statistical techniques were applied, and certain linkages were also identified between gender, qualification, qualified professional, gender, and occupation, etc. Over here, we can see that the number of, this is the gender composition of KDMC, only the surveyed population, not the entire population. The number of males is more than the number of females. Over here, we can see the ward-wise distribution of age composition, wherein the number of age groups are 15 to 25, 26 to 35, 36 to 45, 46 to 60, and 60 and above. They are almost evenly distributed among all the wards of KDMC. Over here, these two are almost the same, so I will just explain the types of qualification in KDMC. There are very, very few number of illiterate people, and the maximum qualification is PhD, PhD holders who reside in KDMC. Maximum population comprises of those people who are graduates. Over here, we can see that same is the situation over here. Male and female have been distinctly identified over here. Maximum male and maximum female population fall in the category of graduates. Qualified population among males and females, more number of males, more percentage of males are qualified, that is 53%, and 46 as compared to 46.5% of females, they are qualified. Over here we can see the occupational trend. student, self-occupied, government sector, private sector, and retired personnel. These were the categories that were found out in KDMC, and maximum people fall in the category of either self-employed or student population. Then it was understood that the people, the kind of houses that the people reside in, they mostly reside in bungalows, flats, chawls, and slums. And out of these also, maximum people reside in flats. They are followed by people residing in chawls. This is the 6th chapter, Community Perception Concerning Access and Consumption of Water. The methodology used is the same, that is the methodology of the 5th chapter, but the number of the questions for this will be different. They revolve around the availability, water infrastructure, the sewage condition, water meter availability, etc. So the details of the responses gathered were entered into Excel and they were tabulated. Same statistical techniques were used, but for hypothesis testing, chi-square method was used. 95% confidence level was selected, and correlation analysis was performed using Carl Pearson's method. These are 3 graphs of the that I have included in this chapter. Ward-wise dependence of the surveyed population on water supply sources. So around 4 water supply sources are of basic concern: municipal water, water tankers, private water tankers, hand pumps and wells, and those people who are getting water both from KDMC as well as water tanker. So maximum people said that they get the municipal water. And very few, those areas which face water shortage, those people said that they have to depend upon underground water sources. Now, the ward-wise presence of domestic water meters. Maximum people said that yes, they have water meters in their house, but there were other people who said that no, they did not have the water meters, but they were paying the water bill. And in unauthorized colonies, definitely there was no provision of water metering. The sewage condition, 3 types of sewage condition was identified: good condition, overflowing condition sometimes, and overflowing and stinking, which is perennially overflowing and stinking sewage. So maximum people in Ward B said that they have sewage in good condition. And those parts of Ward A which are closer to Ward B, they also said that their sewage is in good condition. But as we move away towards into the interior of the Tiwala zone, it was understood that the sewage network is poor. Okay. The hypothesis testing, I have already discussed the hypothesis in the previous slide in the beginning, so I will not go through this. I can supposedly skip this. I will directly come to this slide, wherein all these calculations have been performed, but in the SPSS software. So this is general. As a matter of fact, this has been done for testing the hypothesis using chi-square. Now, interpretation for the first hypothesis is that the p-values are less than 0.05. Therefore, the observed data is statistically significant, and the observed outcomes are not a result of chance. They are actually backed by careful calculation. So there is strong evidence to support alternate thesis. Also, in case of the correlation, it was understood that there is a weak correlation, but there is a very weak linear correlation, because the figure comes out to minus 0.1, which is near to 0. But although there is a low linear correlation, but there are chances that there is high non-linear correlation, because the amount of water which is used by the people varies from household to household. It can be dependent upon their health, hygiene choices, cleanliness habits, etc. So this is basically the conclusion which I've already discussed. It is in favor of alternate hypothesis, and alternate hypothesis states that there does exist a correlation between the number of family members living together in one house and the water bill paid by them. Now, for the hypothesis number 2, I have not included the calculations considering there is paucity of time, but I will go through the conclusion that I have drawn. Over here also, the null hypothesis has been rejected. Why? Because there is the p-values are less than 0.05, and the observed data is statistically significant. It is not because of chance or by chance this has come, but it is backed by careful calculation. So the alternate hypothesis has been strongly emphasized and selected, which says that there does exist spatial variation between sufficiency, regularity, and quantity of water supplied to the households. Now, the seventh chapter is assessing the freshwater demand and supply situation, wherein the methodology I have used is basically for this chapter, it is secondary data supplied by KDMC. I have referred to the CDP, the DPR, the water audit report, and on the basis of that, I have generated graphs and maps. And the diagrams have been presented in this chapter. They include bar graph, pie diagram, then map of proportionately increasing pie, then population density map, etc. All these have been generated in ArcMap. And also one more thing that I have done over here is using the forecast tool to project the population, for future population and the future demand for water. Over here we can see that although because there is little shortage issue, water shortage issue in KDMC, that is why water tankers are sent by KDMC to all the wards, but the number of the water tankers, they vary. Maximum water tankers are sent to D ward. Over here, because the pipeline, in the previous slide it was understood that the pipeline network in D ward is also not very good. It needs to be improved. So this graph over here, it shows the domestic metered connections and domestic non-metered connections. Domestic metered connections are maximum found in ward H over here, and domestic non-metered connections maximum are found in ward D, that is 43%. So this map also shows the same scenario, but in the form of a proportionately increasing pie. Over here we can see this map shows the same scenario of metered and non-metered connections. Now this is the population density map from 2001 till 2021. 2001 and 11 data was taken from census record, but 2021 data was taken from KDMC's projected population figures data. So it is understood that the population density is significantly increasing, and maximum density today in the present scenario can be seen in Kalyan East, that is Ward D of KDMC. Okay, now this map is the zone-wise residential water demand. Residential I have taken because they had given me data for the gross water demand, but I subtracted the commercial water demand, which is 2%, which was already, this data was also given by KDMC, and I subtracted and came to the figure of the residential water demand. So this map is showing that Kalyan West has maximum demand and Titwala zone has minimum demand. And same is the water supply scenario also, that Kalyan West is given more water and Titwala zone is given less water. But the scenario is little bit different, that the demand, the second highest demand is coming from Kalyan East, but it is not given that much water. Okay. Now over here we can see that this is the demand and supply ratio calculation, which is given by KDMC, figures given by KDMC, ratio I have calculated, and these figures have been calculated on the basis of BIS data, Bureau of Indian Standards, and the ratio I have calculated over here. Now for all these zones. Now this map basically pertains to the threesome comparison of the domestic water demand. Over here we can see that threesome, because I have considered data of KDMC, data of BIS, and the survey data that I conducted in KDMC. About this I will be discussing in the next chapter in the succeeding slides. So over here we can see that maximum water is water demand is in Kalyan West, and then the as per the survey, and the minimum is coming from Titwala zone. Okay. Over here I have projected the future population also, and the future population taking 2001, 2011 and 21 as the base year. I have calculated the population up till 2061. Same for demand also, till 61 I have calculated. Maximum demand seems to be coming from Kalyan West, followed by Kalyan East. Minimum is still, this is the population, future population projection, wherein we can see that maximum population is going up in Kalyan West zone. Okay. Now the demand, as far as the demand is concerned, definitely wherever the population is more, the demand will also be more. So these are corresponding to the population. The decadal change in water demand, definitely the demand in water has been successively growing and going up from each decade from 2011 till 2031. There are certain deficiencies and discrepancies in the supply also. So there are water deficit wards and water surplus wards within KDMC. So it is understood over here that Kalyan East is water deficit, followed by Dombivli West, and water surplus is Titwala and Dombivli East. Now this chapter is the 8th chapter, estimating direct and indirect domestic water footprint of the residents. Okay. Over here, I have calculated the water footprint for all the surveyed population. It is purely based on questionnaire survey, and the responses generated have been entered into Excel. Questions that were asked, they were pertaining to how much water they are using for bathing, washing, toilet cleaning, wash basin usage, cooking, vehicle washing, and gardening. So, and these were the direct water consumption, that is the direct water consumption, because they are using water directly. And also 2 indirect water consumption parameters have been used, that is how much paper they are using and plastic they are using. So for all of this, the calculation has taken place in Excel. I multiplied the total of the figures with the number of family members, then multiplied it with the number of houses. Okay, then the consumption for the whole ward, it was calculated by multiplying the per capita figures of the water consumption with the total population, that is the 2011 census population. Over here we can see that this is the direct footprint. There are few parameters that have been considered for direct footprint, and over here we can see that per capita footprint and the total footprint map I have shown for these parameters. This is the per capita bucket bath footprint. Ward A is the largest, has the largest footprint. Ward C has the lowest footprint. So for bucket bath total footprint, I want to clear over here that for almost all these slides and for almost all the maps, the total footprint is more for Ward D and least for Ward G in almost all the maps. So I will particularly be dealing with the per capita water footprint, although maps for all the for both the categories have been shown. Now this over here we can see the shower bath footprint, where the Ward C residents say they have a higher per capita shower bath footprint. Over here we can see that the wash basin tap usage, maximum is coming from, maximum footprint is B and A ward, and lowest is of F ward. Over here in this map is the, we can see the average toilet flush usage. So we can see that B and A ward, they have the highest water footprint, whereas the F ward over here, it has the lowest water footprint. Per capita clothes that are washed with bucket, for that the per capita footprint is lowest for Ward B and it is highest for H and F ward. Okay, the below maps are for the total footprint, where D generally has the higher footprint because of its higher total population. That is why D has higher footprint. Okay, over here we can see the per capita footprint using washing clothes using machine. So we can see that B ward has the highest water footprint and A and H ward have the lowest water footprint. Then over here, the per capita house cleaning footprint. Over here we can see that C, G and H ward, they have the highest per capita house cleaning footprint and the lowest is in Ward A. Then over here we can see the per capita kitchen tap usage footprint, where we can see that maximum kitchen tap is used in Ward F. So the per capita is footprint is largest for Ward F and it is lowest for Ward B, this one. Okay, and the per capita vehicle wash footprint using bucket. For this, Ward B has the highest water footprint and the lowest is A and B wards. Okay, over here we can see the vehicles which are washed using a hose pipe. For that, the per capita footprint is maximum. It is the largest for ward B and it is the lowest for ward G. Whereas the gardening footprint is highest, per capita gardening footprint is highest for people living in ward F and lowest for people living in B and A wards. Okay. This map over here, it is basically overlay map where I have overlaid the population map, total population map. I have overlaid with this this. I have overlaid this population map with the combined direct footprint. And the combined direct footprint is basically all the parameters together I have included, and I have put it in a form of a stacked bar diagram. So maximum is coming from ward D because the total population over here is more. Second is coming from ward B because the per capita consumption over here is more. Then from ward H, because again population is quite high, although the per capita consumption is not too high. Over here we can see the combined direct footprint, wherein we can see the maximum is the per capita combined direct footprint is maximum for ward B and minimum for ward H. This now pertains to the indirect water footprint. Over here we can see that per capita paper usage and per capita plastic usage. So for paper usage, maximum is used in F ward and minimum is used in B ward, while the per capita plastic use, it is more in A ward and least in B ward. Now this map is basically the combined indirect water footprint, that is combination of paper and plastic. So over here we can see that D ward has the maximum paper and plastic usage because of its high population. Now collective water footprint. In this, the collective water footprint means indirect plus direct, all the parameters together. So for that, it is understood that B ward has the maximum water consumption, water footprint, and again H ward has the lowest water footprint. Findings and suggestion, which is the last chapter. Now my findings, particularly I will go objective wise. So built up area has increased by 25%. Vegetation has increased by 6% as urban greenery, which is intertwined within the buildings. Marshes have also increased after 2013. Cultivable land, that is arable land, and barren lands have gone down. Cultivable land has also gone down. Tremendous rise in rail and road network and allied infrastructure. Especially in Kalyan city. It is followed by Titwala zone, where again the road and railways have infrastructure has gone up after 2013. There are overwhelming alterations in the last few years. There is slight change in the rainfall pattern also. Ward A displays increase and Ward F shows decline in the average decadal monsoon rainfall over a period of 30 years from 1991 to 2021. The central parts of Dombivli East and West have dense water pipeline network, but the peripheral portions, that means the area around the central part, they are having low pipeline density. High population, especially illegal encroachment, is found in the northern portions of H and B ward. So there is more of slum chawl dwellers, but there is inadequate water. Large in-migration of people has been seen, but the demand is increasing and congestion is increasing, but the supply is less. Titwala zone needs immediate attention of the ULB. There is very low availability of fresh water as compared to Kalyan city and Dombivli city. Kalyan city northern half and Titwala zone, they have similar land use pattern, almost the similar land use. But the populated areas, because they have more of arable land, cultivable land in parts of Kalyan West and Titwala zone. But population is also continuously increasing. So water shortage issues need to be looked into because there is insufficient irregular supply. Now the second objective, the findings pertaining to the second objective, there is lab test reports of water samples which were collected from flats and chawls and slums, hotels, etc., restaurants, etc. They indicate odor and nitrates. Now these two parameters map I have not made because they were indicated as nil. There was no odor, no nitrate found in the lab testing. So no maps have been made. But high turbidity in Titwala Ward A, Titwala Gaon, Manda West, Lokgram in Ward D. They exceed the BIS limits. Plus, pH levels are also on the borderline of the higher limit, muddy and unclean water, especially in Titwala. There is higher incidence of vector-borne diseases like dengue and malaria in KDMC as compared to waterborne diseases. Definitely, this I have already discussed in the slides. Ward A residents, they suffer more from the latter, that means the dengue and malaria, because of the water sanitation issue also, and they are also suffering from water related problems also, waterborne diseases. So, there are certain leakages that have been detected in the water pipelines, and these are, although they are insignificant, there are leakages, but they are not affecting the quality of the water because of the pollution, there is very negligible amount of pollution. The water quality, its potability quotient is not compromised. Okay, to a large extent. There are findings for the third objective. Ward-wise total population and density of population has risen substantially from 2001 to 21. It is more evident after 2001. Residents are mostly inclined on getting just the formal and fundamental education, and only limited few ambitious people are highly educated within KDMC. There is a predominance of tertiary jobs, informal sector jobs in Kalyan and Dombivli city. But in Ward A, many people are still involved in agrarian jobs. The most of the population falls in the middle income group, and they are looking for affordable housing. Wards A, C and H, they have more self-employed people, indicating a deficiency of job opportunities. Many inhabitants work in Bombay and neighboring areas, but they are sleeping, they are resting, they are relaxing in dormitory towns of Kalyan and Dombivli. Water metering system for many of the houses in specific portions of the 7 wards seem faulty. There is a lot of metering facility needs refurbishment. It needs advancement. Faulty meters need to be repaired, etc. In Ward A, followed by wards D and B. Non-metered connections, they are causing NRW, that is non-revenue water, which is water is flowing from the supply chain of KDMC, but it is not reaching the residents, or it is overflowing from the tanks or reservoirs, or it is unaccounted water. This is also causing monetary losses. If this is taken into consideration, if situation is rectified to some extent, then KDMC can actually save crores of rupees. Maximum cases of people living in unauthorized colonies are found in Ward B and followed by Ward A. Now, the fourth objective findings are, there are 4 water treatment plants in KDMC. They are made on Ulhas and Kalu River. Baraway WTP supplies water to Kalyan, Netivali WTP to Dombivli, Mohili to supplies water to Kalyan and parts of Titwala, and Titwala WTP supplies water to only Ward A, that is Titwala zone. There is water wastage, that is NRW, occurring when the pure water is sent from the WTP to the service reservoirs, most probably due to leaks in the water transmission pipelines. 1 MLD loss has been recorded. There are water supply surplus and deficit zones also in KDMC. Dombivli East is the supply surplus, while Kalyan East is supply deficit zone. Furthermore, Kalyan West has maximum and Titwala zone has minimum requirement. It is from the calculated demand of primary survey, it is understood that the demand from KDMC Ward D is substantially larger as compared to whatever has been calculated by KDMC. And the demand will continue to rise in the coming years. There is a steady swell in the decadal water demand in all the 5 zones of KDMC. According to the questionnaire, maximum water is consumed in washing vehicles. Out of all the direct water consumption parameters that I have considered, washing of vehicles, maximum water is consumed. Then followed by machine washing of clothes, then flushing of toilets, and then bathing. Minimum water is consumed in wash basin tap, kitchen tap, and minimum, absolutely very little amount is used for gardening, because there is no space for gardening and planting of plants, potted plants. So in Ward B, it has the largest water footprint. Its mean and per capita direct water consumption is maximum, and Ward A has the least. The former uses water liberally, whereas the latter uses it conservingly, especially in Titwala zone. The Ward D of KDMC, it is surfacing as the largest consumer of fresh water because it has a large population. The per capita usage of water in Ward D is less, but because its total population is large, that is why it emerges out as the largest consumer of fresh water. Ward G and Ward A have the smallest water footprint. Ward D has the highest total paper and plastic consumption and disposal rate also, and Ward G has the lowest. There is a stark correlation. This is important. Why? Because there is a stark correlation between the water demand as per the KDMC data, as per the KDMC records. The water demand is more from Ward B and C, and the water supplied is also more, but they are not looking into the fact that Ward D is also, because it has a higher total population, that is why demand is increasing continuously from Ward D, and the pipeline network is also not very dense. So this is one discrepancy which needs to be looked into. The total population, they are using water conservingly. Their per capita usage is not too high, but their demand is more because of higher population. Now the suggestions is that the initiation of repair and maintenance work to be done by KDMC to check and mend the leakages, damages in the water pipes, minimization of NRW, provisioning of meters to all the houses so that the metering accuracy can be maintained. There is technological integration can be done, like SCADA and AMR technology can be integrated with the supply mechanism and into the supply infrastructure so as to remove the meter glitches. There are 3 R's which can be concentrated upon, like reduce, reuse and recycle, which is very important because water is a gift that is given to us by nature, and we, by all means, it is important that we protect this and conservingly use this natural resource. So creation of rain gardens, creation of water harvesters, which can be situated either underground or on the terrace, they will go a long way in water conservation. Then 10% water loss has been observed from the Titwala water treatment plant. If a recirculation tank is installed over here, then the loss can come down to 2%. The municipal corporation has been able to furnish the study area with a water transporting pipeline network extensively but not intensively. This needs special attention. Water distribution network is old, it is ancient, it needs refurbishment, it needs to be renewed, expanded and intensified, particularly in those wards where the network is poor. Okay. The next is installation of the wastewater treatment plants which can recycle the wastewater, which is also an important suggestion because this recycled water can be used not for direct consumption, but it can be used for doing the odd jobs like house mopping, toilet cleaning, flushing, vehicle washing, outdoor cleaning, gardening, etc. Even in the community toilets, this water can be given and provided. The next suggestion is maintaining a constant and uniform flow pressure in the pipeline, because if the pressure is reduced, then and if the pressure is fluctuating, then there can be leakage, problems of leakage. So placing the pressure regulators is a suggestion. So, and the pressure can be regulated, limited to a constant 15% flow. So micro level watershed management will also go a long way. Vegetation planting of more trees, shelter belts to protect the soil, to minimize soil erosion, reservoir overflow, wastage can also be prevented. Then Mohili and Nativali water treatment plants, they are functioning at a lower capacity. They need to be improvised. Lake rejuvenation is one very important method of fighting the water crisis battle. Last but not the least, citizen participation, very important, extreme imperativeness. Over here, it is understood that if citizens are willing to contribute to water conservation practices, conservingly, judiciously reducing their per capita usage, then it can be understood that this can be taken, this can be protected, water resource can be protected. This is the last slide. The groundwater potential in KDMC and Ulhas Basin as a whole has high, very high, remarkably high potential, groundwater potential. So this further studies can be taken up in this regard. Next is detailed morphometric analysis can also be taken up because Ulhas Basin is again an important area where stream ordering can be done, water bodies, changes in the water bodies can be understood, flood area delineation can be understood. Um, EPANET is one software which is useful for better understanding of the water supply mechanism, which can also be incorporated in further studies. Next is, I want to highlight the importance of the water shafts that have been innovative. This is an innovation which has been brought about by Dr. Pradeep Kalbar, and he is an associate professor in IIT Bombay. He and his team, they have designed the Ajivam water shafts. These shafts are basically used for even distribution of water to all the households because there is uneven distribution. So evenly water can be distributed to all the households if these shafts are placed at a point where the water tanks are located, so they can regulate the water flow. So this is also important, and the work of the geographers as engineers, they have designed the Ajivam water shafts, but as geographers we can suggest where are the places where these can be incorporated and placed. Okay, these are a few glimpses, few snapshots from my study area, water treatment plant. This is the diagram which was made on the wall of KDMC office. Then these are the study area, other photographs over here. Thank you so much for your kind attention. I come to the end of my presentation and my thesis research work.
Okay. Okay. Now, external referee, Dr. Sunil Gaikwad sir, for his observation and remarks. Over to you, Pune sir.
Hello.
Can I stop presenting?
Yeah, you can stop your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Very nice presentation, ASTHA KAPUR. You have nicely presented the
Thank you,
topic
sir.
on KDMC. Dealing with such a small area and the problem that is regarding the water supply and all, it seems very difficult to assess the problem itself. But out of all these things, you have nicely channelized the thing and you have almost covered the entire part and every part of the research. So starting from the Ulhas and Kalu River Basin, you directly came to the KDMC area, very small area. I think it is a very small area you are dealing with. But what is important in your entire study is that water footprint. You have analyzed it well, and it is really a very good study and role model for other cities also to assess the water crisis and all. So apart from this, this is the first research thesis I have gone through, having more than 481 pages, and your synopsis also more than 80 pages. So this is the very first time I have gone through such a very exhaustive and a very extensive work, and therefore I am very happy to congratulate you selecting a topic, selecting a say research and dealing it with very nicely. Your methodology is also good. Not only you dependent on a secondary data, but you been there in the study area and you have almost collected first-hand information that is the primary data, and your analysis, your say observations are quietly made good. Apart from this, every chapter you have given and the research methodology is also given chapter wise. Some references are also given chapter wise, and it's your every chapter becomes a very mini thesis. Means in all 9 theses you have just combine all together and try to give a very justice to the topic itself. So I congratulate you on this conducting such a very wonderful work and very exhaustive work. So I congratulate you and both your guide, Professor Sardar Patil sir, and yourself. I am very happy to congratulate both of you for taking such a nice, say, topic for a research. There are, say in synopsis, I came across some of the, say, wherever the soil structure is written, I think it may be a graphical mistake or typing mistake as such. There you have written where it's a description of soil texture. So you may please take care of while printing and finalizing this work for publication. So these are a few these things. One more thing I would like to quote and I observed very carefully. As far as the rainfall map is there, so KDMC generally we go for a isoplate mapping, and you have just divided rainfall into say using say rules of choroplate map. So that is the entity which can be distributed all over the from above, and the distribution may be such that is the equal line distribution like that. You may please take care of that also. But the rest of the work and what you have mentioned as the road ahead, that is a very good part.
Yes.
And as you have projected a population by the year 1961, it is also a good thing. And what
Yes.
main striking and the focus portion of your say thesis and the research work is a water footprint, and such kind of work needs to be done in our country as a whole, and you have started it well. Again, I am very happy to congratulate both Patil sir and yourself. So I congratulate you, ASTHA KAPUR and Patil sir once again. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you.
Gaikwad
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Gaikwad sir. And
Yes.
now questions from participants.
Yes, participants are requested to ask questions, and if there is any suggestion, they are also welcome. Please.
Bharti madam and Samruddhi had raised their hands.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, kindly unmute yourself. Please, please.
I congratulate ASTHA for her lovely presentation. And,
Thank you, ma'am.
I think study that she has carried out is really an extensive study, and it's a very valuable study for all of us in mainly understanding water situation in major cities. And as a special guide of Gaikwad has said, that it is an example, a role model, project for many cities who can undertake this study. I actually do not have any much suggestion, but because you already told in the last part the what next study can be carried out. Now that your PhD research work is over at one level, you have already suggested what should be the next level. So that way I don't have any question. But I feel that then afterwards, after completing PhD, you yourself can go ahead with the further studies and make it still again a important study for others in the field of water. Thank you. Congratulate all of you once again. Sardar sir, congratulations for an excellent work
Thank
carried
you.
out by your students. And thank everyone.
Chavan madam.
Thank you.
Chavan madam.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. With my due respect to the external referee, Dr. Sunil Gaikwad sir, Chairperson of the session, POS Chairperson Geography, Dr. Rajaram, and Honorable Dattatre Gathade sir. First of all, I would like to congratulate the guide Sardar Patil sir for his first candidate to be awarded very soon with the declaration of the chairperson and referee of this award, and ASTHA KAPUR. She has really taken a very wonderful topic, which is very pertinent. And I had many questions in my mind, but after making the presentation, she has almost covered everything. So all my questions were answered by her presentation. So she was left no stone unturned, to cover this. But I would like to suggest uh,
Yes, ma'am.
postdoctoral work that can be taken related to the same topic, of course, with the consent of your guide and expertise. Uh, just go for the borewell water in the same area, because see,
Yes,
you cannot increase the supply of water now, fresh water, from any other sources
yes,
except rainwater harvesting. And rainwater harvesting is recharging the groundwater at the places where
yes,
borewells are there. And the quality of
yes,
borewell water in TMC is utterly bad because of various chemical industries, etc. in the area. But given the
yes,
amount of plentiful rainfall in the region, if the entire
yes,
KDMC goes for recharging the groundwater in the borewells which are already dug, but now they are defunct, if they are revived, definitely the quality of underground water would be good, and that can be used, as we have suggested, for the cleaning of vehicles. So all the automobile garages, etc., and maybe the common toilets which the KDMC is having, this water can be used for cleaning the vehicles or for flushing the these toilets, or even
yes,
flushing the
ma'am.
I'll say underground septic tanks, which is required on and off in the area where
Yes,
clean
ma'am.
water is used. So this is a suggestion. This work can be taken as postdoctoral work, because already you are
Yes, ma'am.
having the data, means samples with you. You can just connect them again with a Google form or primary search.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Thank you so much. Artist
Thank you
congratulations.
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for this. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your inputs.
Yes, Saini, please unmute yourself and you may ask your question. Do you have any question?
Yes, sir. First of all, congratulations, Astha and Dr.
Thank
Sadar
you.
Patil, sir. And wonderful
Thank
presentation
you.
you
Thank
made.
you so much. Can
Okay.
you speak a little loudly? I can't really hear you nicely.
Okay. Now you can.
Yes,
Hello.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes. I just wanted to ask one thing, that how this research will helpful in the process of decision making, and where we can use it effectively.
In the process of decision making and
And where we can use it effectively.
okay, okay. So yes, this research is basically oriented towards the decision makers, towards the policy makers, because within this research I have included such parameters, such arenas where I can actually suggest so many things to the decision makers, especially with respect to the refurbishment of the water pipeline network. It can be the old pipelines need repair and maintenance, and apart from that, there are also certain places and portions where the pipeline network is very low. It is either very scattered or it is very scarce. So the new pipelines need to be laid. The old pipelines need to be renewed. They need to be extended. It needs to be refurbished. It needs to be the area, this basically needs to be looked into, so that this particular job needs can be possibly done only by the decision makers, the position holders. So I would like to suggest that especially in ward D, especially in Titwala zone, Kalyan east zone, Titwala zone, ward A, these are the places where the pipeline density needs to be improved. Also in Kalyan B ward of Kalyan, the northern portion, wherein the water supply pipelines is very scarce, over there new pipelines can be laid. Apart from that, the water supply needs to be improved. I have also come across within this presentation, I may not have included, but I did, while questionnaire survey, I did come across certain responses and people who said that the water is supplied, but it is supplied intermittently. It is not, the water supply is not regular. Also, there is on particular days, water is not supplied at all. So this thing can be looked into by the corporation. Also, if the capacity of the water treatment plants is improved, it is increased, because natively, especially natively plant and Titwala plant, they are natively and Titwala plant, they are working at a lower capacity. So if their capacity is increased, definitely they'll be able to treat more water. And another important thing that decision makers can take note of is that if they install wastewater treatment plants, then again the water supply can be improved. So this is of major concern, especially with the decision makers. And for these citizens, I can suggest that they can conservingly use the water, so that their per capita water consumption is reduced to some extent, to whatever extent is possible. Little small steps can also go a long way in water conservation, because the area is receiving high rainfall, but conservation is not being managed in a noteworthy manner. So this can be taken note of. Thank you.
Thank you
If you
very
don't
much.
mind, may I say something, sir?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Please, please.
Yes, now with reference to Saili's question and the answer which ASTHA has given, I would request you all to, you just prepare 2 to 3 page policy draft recommendation to the government, KTMC also, okay, duly endorsed by Vice Chancellor, US Chairperson and guide. And along with the map, if you give it, that where exactly the repair pipe replacement is required, okay? Since maps are there with you, you can just select few of the maps and point out and just give that 2 page or 3 page draft plan. That will help the policy decisions too, because thesis it will not be read. So your outcome of the thesis would be you prepare 2 to 3 pages draft policy plan recommendation to the KDMC government and copy forwarded to Ministry, means Government of Maharashtra. And the draft should be duly endorsed by uh, all the authorities. Okay.
Vice Chancellor.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the suggestion.
Gatade sir, any questions?
Yes, Lalita Salvi has raised hand. Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Astha.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, it is very good presentation.
Thank you,
My
ma'am.
thesis. My question will be, which matlab means, how many decades you take for the data? It is 3
For which
decades.
data, ma'am?
For the for data collecting questionnaire.
For questionnaire.
Do you
Okay,
mean
data was
responses?
Questionnaire data set form for which year? म्हणजे
कौन से साल के लिए आस्था
for
आपने डेटा
2000,
कलेक्ट
हाँ
किया,
हाँ
ऐसा उनका कहना
for
है.
हाँ
2020. Okay, questionnaire survey के लिए I started, I took complete 1 year for completing the questionnaire survey, and 2023 basically half portion of 22 and half portion of 2023 I have taken this. I started in 2022 actually, and it went on up till 2023. So this is the basically these are the 2 years for which the data I have. I mean, the data collection, questionnaire data collection happened in these 2 years.
okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
questions are now over.
Someone ask any comment or any last question?
Any comment?
Honorable Principal,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
would you like say something?
ASTHA and Dr. Sardar Patil, congratulations. Excellent comments from a referee and so many recommendations from even experts who were present for this, online session. I congratulate once again. You were very confident. I was just listening entire session. I was there, but since I am out, there
Thank
was
you, sir.
little problem with the net, so my video was not on. But I'm witnessing the
Okay.
entire session, and it was nicely presented. And throughout the
Thank
session,
you,
you
sir.
are very confident. And who can remain confident? The one who does work that is which is supposedly genuine work. So your work was very genuine, and you deserve for it.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations once again, you and even Dr. Sardar Patil as well.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you so much, sir. Thank you indeed.
yes, okay. At the end, today we have conducted online open defense VIVA on the behalf of University of Mumbai. The candidate gave satisfactory answers to questions put in the online open defense VIVA host examination. On the basis of evaluation of thesis on the performance of the candidate at online open defense VIVA, we recommend that the thesis submitted to the University of Mumbai by the candidate ASTHA Kapur be accepted for award of PhD degree at University of Mumbai. Congratulations, ASTHA Kapur.
Very big applause to Astha. Very big applause.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Great.
so much,
Great.
sir. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Asta,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations,
Thank
ASTHA.
you. Thank you.
Dr. ASTHA
Congratulations.
Kapur.
Thank you,
Congratulations
ma'am.
to
Thank you
Dr.
so
Sardar Patel.
सरदार
Thank,
तुमचं पण
thank,
अभिनंदन.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Now may I request Lalita? Yes, More sir, please, please, please.
Heart, Asta madam, hearty congratulations.
Yes, sir.
And Dr.
Thank you
Sardar
so
Patil,
much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
congratulations from our side.
Thank you.
Hello, Astha madam.
हाँ जी
Hearty
मैम. Yes.
congratulations. Dr. Sardar Patil sir,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
More sir,
Congratulations,
namaskar.
Astha. Congratulations, Dr. Sardar Patil,
So
sir.
much,
Thank
Astha,
you.
this is a
Rishana. Thank you
wonderful
so much.
work, and really, this will be very useful. And as Jawan Madam has suggested, like, please take it ahead, and so that it can be really used for the society. And I believe that that research is really a successful research which can be used for the society. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Your
Thank
presence and your blessings really mean a lot.
you.
It's my pleasure, and it's my duty also.
One
Thank
more feather in the cap of Department of Geography, Mumbai
Thank you,
University.
ma'am.
So
Thank you.
congratulations
Thank you so
to you too,
much.
Dr. Sangrupta Madam.
We are proud
For,
of our PhD
yeah,
students.
It is very difficult to express our sincere gratitude because so many scholars, my research supervisor Dr. Ghattade, well-known geographers from Maharashtra, well-known academicians from the Konkan region, and I think some faculty members out of Maharashtra also have joined with for this presentation. So I request my colleague and my research scholar Lalita Tambe ma'am kindly express the sincere vote of thanks to all the participants.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Respected dignitaries, esteemed panel members, faculty members, scholars, and all the distinguished attendees. It is my privilege to honor to propose the vote of thanks on this momentous occasion of Miss Asta Kapoor in the subject of geography under the faculty interdisciplinary studies. At the outset, I would like to congratulate research scholar Ms. Astha Kapoor for her commendable research work on appraisal of the water scenario in geographical perspective a case study of Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, Maharashtra. Her meticulous research, in-depth analysis, and valuable insight have significantly contributed to the field of geography. Congratulations, Asta ma'am, on reaching this academic milestone. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to her research supervisor, Dr. Sardar Ananda Patil sir, for his continuous guidance, mentorship, and support in shaping her research. Congratulations, sir. A special word of thanks to our esteemed external referee, Principal Dr. Sunil Gaikwad from SP College, Pune, for your valuable time, expertise, and constructive evolution which have enriched today's VIVA. I extend my gratitude to the Honorable Chairperson of this VIVA, Dr. Rajaram Patil sir, for presiding over the session and ensuring a smooth and insightful examination process. I sincerely thank Dr. Narendra Tendulkar sir, Principal of ASP College, Devrup, for dedicating his valuable time, which made this PhD VIVA even more meaningful. I also thank Dr. Chauhan ma'am, Bharti ma'am, who suggest your appreciation and suggestions are very meaningful. Thank you very much to the faculty member of ASP College for dedicating their valuable time. I would like to say your presence and insight have greatly enriched this session. Once again, congratulations, Ms. ASTHA KAPUR ma'am and Patil sir, and thanks to all who are present here. Thank you so much.